as well, as a game needs to be particularly one-sided for the outcome to be made. So, Wolf, here we are, back into a brand new game number 2.
I looked it up. It's Rule 8.5 of the official rulebook. It's in there. Cannot actually decide a win before 20 minutes. So anyway, back to it. Ezreal banned again here for Nongshim. We'll see if the same bans come through. Azir is taken away as well. So this one feels very familiar. Lucian gone.
Yeah,
we're trying to remove the last game from our minds, but it's still going to kind of be there. The draft looks the same thus far.
And that's
Corki
the Corki.
gone.
Yeah, okay. So, new draft, by the way, as that was a smile on Showmaker's face, so that is definitely good news for the spirits of the players as the Poppy ban comes through much like last time around. So, will we see any differences is going to be the question here as Kalista, once again, locked in as the first option. Let's see what Damwon go with. Last time it was Nara Felios. We'll see whether that is what it's going to be this time as well.
Yeah, last time we were wanting the Gnar Kench, but if the drafts are going to look the same, who cares, I guess? So there's going to be Nara Felios, so the Amumu should come through here if they want to play the same draft. Now, remember, last time this was a very successful start for Nongshim. Like, if you guys didn't watch the game and you just saw the numbers, they were able to take away, that's a change. They were able to take away several summoners at level 1 with a really nice flash over the wall from Effort, sets up a Hex Flash play. That's probably not going to happen this time around, but the Taliyah, instead of the Swain, going to give a little bit more lane power here to BDD. And the Swain had no impact in the previous game. If you're going to get the Kench, you're going to get it now. They are going to pick this into a Mumu Kalista.
Yep, and they did it last time, and they got zoned out of lane a few, but it's okay because Canyon was there. Nongshim now have an opportunity to ban away Trundle if they would like to. We have to remind everyone as well that BDD was a fantastic Taliyah player in the mid lane quite a long time ago. So it certainly is an interesting pivot here for Nongshim to move him back to one of his more famous picks in the past.
Silas is another ban that we said was a must ban last game. I think this time around is still a very strong ban. Not as strong as it was in the previous game, but still a pretty smart move. But I think the Trundle gets banned here 100%, which is one of those unfortunate things about a remake, is the strategy, the counter that Damwon prepared, and the perfect execution we saw from Canyon to, basically just secretly punish this lane repeatedly. By pathing down the lane itself was extremely successful, but he should not have that same opportunity again. Now, if you're Nongshim, you might just play more respectfully this time, but it defeats the purpose of running the Kalista Amumu. They had summoner advantage because of the level 1, so let's see. I think, as ugly as it is, I think you have to ban the Trundle here as Nongshim. Just don't let them have the same opportunity. I don't want to watch that again.
Yeah. They are going to time it out as Twist of Fate is going to be the ban here to get it away from Showmaker. So the Trundle is possible to be locked in once again, and they will be able to take that one. So Canyon looking a bit tired, but Nongshim, let's see what they do decide to lock away here. It would be, they would have liked to have picked away the Gangplank, but they are unable to, as the Wukong looks to be the option.
Here, instead of the Lee Sin. Do you like it?
Yeah.
No, the Lee Sin not as powerful, in terms of setting up fights. The Taliyah pick here going to work really well with Wukong. Lots of wombo, lots of engage. The Wukong not going to be as good as Lee Sin pre-6, but this is a terrible matchup for Wukong into the Trundle. We talked about this a lot last draft, and we might just see Damwon Kia try to, fight early against the Wukong as a result. I would love this Gwen pick, though.
Yeah.
I like this one a lot. The Gangplank was removed. This gives the team a lot of follow-up damage for all the engage they have, and a really strong side lane for Kana.
Yeah, the Gwen was banned actually in game number 1, as now going to be available for Kana this time around due to the fact that the Viego was the choice instead of the Gwen ban that we did see in the second round, first time. That's a Lissandra being considered.
I was talking about.
Yeah, I like it.
And with the Swain last time, it felt a little bit awkward. This time with the Taliyah, it is very powerful because now you have, basically Lissandra ult, the Trundle pillar. You have some kill pressure here in the mid lane. And Taliyah's, Unraveled Earth is not going to be as powerful against this type of pick, as Lissandra can just warp across it. And Damwon Kia, the name of the game is once again going to be to try to punish the bottom lane, but I think because of this Lissandra pick, they actually have a lot more power mid, too. The top side of the map is definitely going to be Nuguri playing a little bit more weak side, isn't going to have as much power there to make plays. He was weak side, of course, last game, too. He died twice to allow Damwon Kia to win the whole map.
Yeah.
But the hope is that at least this time the bottom 2v2 plays a lot more respectfully around Canyon's potential ganks, because the first time he pulled it off, it was a really nice play, but then repeatedly Ghost and Effort tried to force fights, just hoping he wasn't going to be there. I mean, quite literally, I hope he's not there. We're going to try to make a play. And then 4 times they were killed, and the game was over. The Nexus didn't fall, but we'll see how it goes this time around, because if we see a repeat here, it would just be further insult to injury here for Nongshim Red Force, unfortunately.
Yep, I would assume that the level 1 is going to be a very different story here. I would expect that no flashes towards the brush or anything like that for those cheeky shenanigans, which is a bit of a shame for Nongshim, because that was the one positive that did happen, being able to get Dokdam summoners early. But now might also give Dread the opportunity to get some more done. But here we go, into game number 1. 2. All right. Players out onto the Rift here for game number 4. I mean 5. I mean 2. Hit 2. We did it. We got there.
It says 2 there.
It is. Okay.
Game 2.
Confirmation that it is game 2. And I feel like we're further in the future. I feel like I'm a little bit more ready for bed. However, let's just assume that it's straight after game number 1, where Damwon Kia won very, very convincingly, and should, in theory, just be able to do that one again. But of course, things, you know, with the amount of delay that has happened, certainly things can change. But as far as the draft and the differences there, the Gwen and the Talia instead of the Gangplank and the Swain, I think do take away a little bit from the cohesiveness of Nongshim's composition that they had last time, as they will try a different little strategy here, tidying up that ward there.
Just grab a ward. Yep. Trundle starting top side here, so it can path bottom. We'll start his red buff, and then we'll path down here to try to punish. Now, I like this because this will make this pathing for Canyon a little bit more frustrating. Like, if he comes down here and can't make a play, then it's not going to be worth it for him, because he can't just, of course, continue to path his normal jungle. So I actually really like this vertical jungling that's being set up here by Ghost and Effort, who will, of course, have Prio. This is how you can use it.
Well, seen this one before, as Effort's going to find 2 of his bandage tosses, gets the flash out of Kellen once again. And it turns out that if at first you succeed, you can succeed again in the second time of asking.
All right, Canyon's coming over here at level 2, though, so, you know, this is where the Wukong's early game versus Trundle his weaknesses there can be a bit of a problem. So he can just come down here and be like, let's 3v3. Once Dokdam hits level 2, this is a fight they can take. He will hit it, of course, after Effort and Ghost. We're trying to zone him out here with a little bit of experience. We'll be able to hit these minions and insta-delete them with the Relic Shield. And there's the level 2.
Yep.
So
and Canyon is now going to
try
pop over another
see what
ward.
He can do to counter-invade. Yeah. That was a huge ward. He's going to come over here and be like, all right, I'm going to try to steal this jungle away, but it'll be a little bit late to steal the red. And this is a really great start for Dread as a result.
Yeah, gets the full
and
wrap
doesn't
around.
take Raptors.
Oh, look at that from Dread. This
you
is
look at Dread,
very
man.
sneaky.
He is just so smart. Yeah. Because now, right now, as Canyon, you're not really sure where he is. He could be down here, but you just do not know. And Dokdam and Kellen are going to have to play even more respectfully. Of course, Kellen flashless here. They know Canyon is a long way away.
Yeah. And you can see now, going to go back to the Krugs is Dread. Was just pathing down here just to see whether any sort of shenanigans were going to happen. The Wolves are now going to be taken by Canyon, as he had an unsuccessful trip towards the enemy jungle. I think he did deny the Raptors. Not entirely sure. Because
most of them, I think.
Yeah. Probably a little one
because
still left up.
The little jungle icon is still there, so at least some of them are alive, but I think you are right. He stole some of them away. Yep. See how quickly Dread clear that. You can just see that on the minimap. It's confirmed. He did steal that. He's going to come down here. Dread is nowhere to be seen, and like a little bit more respectful positioning here from Ghost and Effort.
Yeah, they do ping out the ward, I think.
As far up.
Yep. Well, Kellen is going to move over. That's a flash forward from Doctom as he once again has the Graviton prepared. Really beautifully done. Ghost is going to be taken out here. Doctom gets the first blood this time, though. It doesn't go to the Trundle, and I think that's worse news here for Nongshim.
Yeah, it is worse news. And, like, the thing about this is we saw the exact same thing in the previous game, except Dread did some really cool shenanigans to make sure it didn't happen very early on in the game, like at level 2. But then as soon as Dread left, I was saying they were playing respectfully. They were not as far up as they were last game, but they were still really far up. And Gravitum is ready, and you have to be ready to respond to that. When Gravitum is here and a Trundle could be nearby, just have to respect that. And they see the ward plant as well, and they still don't back away. Yeah, they are just tunnel visioned on getting the advantage here in the lane.
Yeah, they thought that they'd probably be able to see the Trundle move forward, and I love this flash from Doctom. Uses the rest of his Severum, then moves to the Gravitum perfectly. Gets to apply it as well with the Q. Oh, man, it was really, really nicely done by the Aphelios there.
Doctom Aphelios.
Yeah, he's so good at this champion. And this is what I was talking about, right?
This is the win rate you were talking about, yeah.
Yeah, VODS Talia is pretty legendary, but hasn't been played for quite some time.
Yeah, it's not been meta, it's not been strong for a very long time, but finally with this kind of mini rework here for Talia, it's relevant again, and putting him on a comfort pick here, 100% going to be, you know, at least he's going to feel good about what he's trying to do here. He's not going to be out of his comfort zone like he clearly looked to be on the Sylas. Yeah. Augury is crushing this lane early.
And that's sort of what the Nas do now after the recent nerfs to, or I guess the pseudo-recent nerfs to the Gwen. The early game certainly does feel a bit better, as that's a flash out from BDD very early on. Seismic Shove not going to find the mark.
Yeah, nice try there from BDD. Does have level 6 now, of course, but no objective just yet to contest for. This is a huge wave crashing through. Canyon does not have the same ability to come over and do this again like he did last time. Aphelios' clear is pretty nice. Doctom is just going to wipe that one out basically instantly there. And, I mean, look, this is it was a better situation for Damwon in that Doctom picked up the kill early, but at least this time on Ghost and Effort's second push of the wave here, they are not punished a second time, so, you know, that part of this is going better. Obviously, down here is still a 10 CS lead, a pretty significant one for Ghost. And it looks like Damwon with Trundle over here going to maybe just convert this into a Drake take, because there's just no way that Ghost and Effort can realistically contest this without Dread's help. BDD can Weaver's Wall in, but look at the prio right now that Showmaker has.
Yeah, he was able to use it to move into the river as well, so got himself down there. You could see that was why Nongshim had to leave this lane, give Doctom a little bit more space, as it is going to be pushing towards Nongshim, so they don't need to move any further forward. And they do have a lot of vision down here, you can see it. And Dread going to use that opportunity. He blast cones into the Dragon Pit himself, and he's going to wrap around and look for a potential gank as Effort clears out this ward. Another minion wave is conga lining in. Damwon might feel safe, but they do move back relatively far. The flash comes out yet again. They're keeping that on cooldown, but Doctom's in trouble. Ghost will pick up the kill. And now BDD could be in trouble again too. Here's the return gank. He does have a cleanse, but it's not going to work out. Another auto comes in, and Showmaker, he locks that one down as well. The 1-2 punch. First one from Nongshim, this one from Damwon.
Yeah, so I think this is still a trade that is pretty okay for Nongshim, but problem is so many minions are going to be lost here for BDD who does not have teleport. Like, that's the real painful part of this. The same, of course, is true of Doctom, who will have to return to lane very slowly here. We'll lose some of those minions. Kellen's going to have to pick those up, but there was a check, actually, from Showmaker and Trundle. You could see on the minimap, like, the trade that's being set up here. And I think this is just not properly communicated to Doctom and Kellen, because they knew that Dread was not topside. They went and checked the river. There was a whole setup that happened moments before this where Showmaker and Canyon confirmed that Dread is not topside. And I think that, you know, Doctom and Kellen should have been more willing to give up CS bottom side here if they're going to try to make this play happen. At least they do make it happen. But that's one thing we can criticize in this bottom 2v2, and Ghost is going to pick up a kill, lots of extra money for him, so already a way better game here for Nongshim with this bottom 2v2, because it's actually more of a 2v2 this time and not a Canyon on rotation. This was like the 2 kills bottom were like part of his camp rotation in the previous iteration of this game. Not so much this time.
Definitely was. He's still 100% kill contribution here at 9 minutes into the game. on his Gromp right now. His effort's going to move over. And
That killed me.
Are you okay? Wolf, it's all right. Oh, that frog, he's back again. He was there at the very beginning of the day. But he's now back. As Effort and Ghost will be able to take themselves this Rift Scuttler. And yeah, like you
made
say,
me laugh
much
while I was
better.
drinking my tea.
Oh no!
Got me, man.
The gank isn't from Canyon anymore, it's from me against my co-commentator. It's a complete disaster. Anyway, while Wolf is repairing himself from my horrible gank, let's just have a look at the game state here. Noguri is continuing to push that stat of his forward percentage as high as possible, continuing over on Nongshim's side of the map as much as he possibly can. Rift Herald has spawned, has been alive for about a minute and a half, but no one's really been able to check on it. Vision available there for Nongshim, but no real interest in taking it down. Stockdown with some red and white guns is going to very comfortably clear out this minion wave, and now Ghost by himself underneath this turret.
He is
watch this play
probably
fall.
dead if he doesn't have effort coming over here right now. Who he is?
Yep.
It's very scary for a moment.
Ooh, Effort actually, if he
They still don't
postures
know.
aggressively, this is a real danger. Yeah, some
Dread's far away.
missing pings coming through here as Nongshim get them back into laning formation, but I mean, he's just going to come out of that brush. Kellen wraps around as Ghost is immediately going to flash, doesn't waste any time. Fate's Call comes on in after the Curse of the Sad Mummy. That is both ultimates, and now Dalmonkia can push underneath this turret now. Ooh, dangerous times. But Dread's going to come down, so it looks like this minion wave will actually be picked up.
Yeah, so really well-timed rotation back from Effort. They handled it well, didn't have the information. Still end up surviving here, staving off the pressure, but Showmaker still has mid control, and finally, we will see this Drake contested for.
Yeah, vision available for both teams in theory. The Pixel Brush does have that control ward, as well as wards surrounding the pit. Don't actually have vision of the dragon itself, but Dalmonkia should have a decent idea of what's going on. Showmaker takes a few volleys to the face. But BDD not going to be able to do any sort of lasting damage to the Lissandra here, who's very happily ahead by a couple of waves as the dust settles.
Yeah, has that kill as well, and is going to have the faster stopwatch, obviously, as a result. Probably won't be too significant unless we actually have a real team fight here, but if it is a 5v5 for Rift Herald, for example, having that stopwatch here for Showmaker would be amazing. It looks like Dalmonkia are just not that interested in contesting at the moment.
Yeah.
They have a lot of scaling in this draft. They do not want to give over power to this Gwen early, give power over to Wukong or Talia, who's behind. And there's just no reason to force this fight right now. They do not have to.
Yeah.
Because their comp is going to scale up well. Now, obviously, there are some parts of scaling to this for Nongshim, like the Talia is going to become very scary later on in terms of her damage output, you know, a little bit less utility than the Lissandra, although, you know, some utility, obviously.
Yep.
And the Gwen side laning can be a problem, but she's kind of behind right now. I think Dalmonkia are much more interested in fighting on second Rift Herald, you know, second and third Drake. That's when they're going to look to force fights even when they don't have prio. But for now, just kind of chilling and scaling.
Yep, just trying to get towards those first item spikes where Damwon are going to be more pleased, as BDD is going to wrap around and throw some rocks at Showmaker, but not going to find too much value. Canyon moving on in once again. Flash available for BDD, so not too worried about the whole situation. And Showmaker is just going to throw down a fadeaway claw and look for a bit of a reset as Kellen jumps over the side. There's Moonlight Vigil as well. Gravitum in hand, and that's Devour. That's a very dead Callista. Ghost is going to go down. Does heal, and does manage to pick up a kill, so never mind. The Rend is going to deal with the Catfish, but he's not going to be able to pick up the wave.
That's because they wanted to give the kill to Duckdom, that they held that extra damage. Like, Kellen definitely could have secured the kill there to save his life, but he wanted to give the kill to the Aphelios. Still okay here, obviously, because, yeah, it's a little bit of extra gold to Callista, but she's removed from the map. Duckdom is still farming. And I don't think Dread is nearby.
BDD is, though.
BDD's coming.
Yeah, he's got a wall that can come through here as Duckdom's still going to have to flash. Bandage Toss goes wide, as does the Seismic Shove. So Nongshim unable to find the Aphelios, but they get both of his summoner spells.
Yep, he will escape with his life, so actually really nice here for Nongshim, because they get a kill traded back for Ghost. Aphelios pushed away, no summoners. And now Ghost is going to catch this mid wave, and they will be able to get the first Drake. It's at like almost 14 minutes into the game, this first Drake, so very slow elemental pace here as Kana is probably dead.
Yeah, probably, but he's going to throw out as much needlework as he can. Canyon not tanking the turret. He's going to flash and get the fadeaway chomp as the boulder toss comes through and stops BDD from any sort of potential follow-up. And now Showmaker wants to just kill him. But he is going to back away. Very wisely is going to back away as the Rift Herald's going to come down in the mid lane. The plates just fell down. Unfortunately for Nongshim, they can't get themselves any extra money as the next Rift Herald going to be spawning in 3.5 minutes. But this outer turret in the mid lane and first brick going over to Nongshim is definitely great news.
They're going to get an extra charge. They're going to get an extra charge here. So, okay, suddenly, you know, you're feeling pretty good. A lot of this money is going into Ghost's pocket as well. Now, Duckdown will also get a turret here, so that makes it less good. But a lot of the money that is being picked up here is into Ghost's pocket. He's going to be obviously one of the win conditions here for Nongshim if they want to snowball this game. Dread?
Well, he's going to have to get himself out. Nimbus Strike is going to be used, but the Frozen Tomb exists. There's the Devour. And, yeah, he wants to give another kill over to Duckdown. Oh, Kellen and Duckdown is so cute. Doesn't matter that Kellen had to sacrifice himself for the last one. Still gives over the next one to Duckdown as well.
A little bit greedy there from Dread, trying to hold his flash. If he if he Warriors Tricksters and then flashes like immediately, I think he probably gets away from there. Could have perhaps avoided the Abyssal Dive. This is just a replay of Ghost getting chomped. And then he puts a bunch of spears in him and rends him before he dies.
Yep, and Kellen actually missed the tongue lash, so I think he was actually choosing life. He wasn't trying to give the kill. It was just
looking at it again.
Miss.
It's a really nice flash here is, Dread does have flash, does have his Warriors Trickster. Ults first, then W's over the wall. And then goes up here, gets another knockup, but like nobody is nearby. I think he probably, I mean like, he wants to hold his flash. Maybe he's like, okay, I know Duckdom is coming. I might not get out. He might grab it to me after I flash or something. So,
yeah,
you know, you could see why he held flash there, but
I think he wanted to flash over the fat wall, but was actually unable to because he was Frozen Tombed, then devoured, so never had the opportunity. And then once he was pressed against the blue buff wall, Canyon was wrapping around. He knew it, so there was no way out.
Yeah, at that point, it was definitely not going to save his life, so. Well, he does go down, so a little bit of extra gold going over to Duckdom, who in this game has become accelerated through very different circumstances. But, you know, he doesn't have a lead, per se, that is impossible to overcome, because Ghost also picked up 2 kills. Ghost has a 10 CS lead, had a CS lead for a very long time. Didn't pick up, you know, plate, gold, or anything like that. Duckdom got the whole bottom turret, so still Damwon Kia in a very nice spot.
Yep. I think
but
that
this is a much more
really
winnable game.
Ahead.
Yeah, and like, Nongshim still have a lot of CC, a lot of long-term damage, obviously in a 5v5 where they can set up for it. The Lissandra angle makes it a lot tougher than the draft we saw last game, because last game was all about like, okay, we have Counter Barrage, we have Swain ult, we're going to look for a slower fight. This is kind of like more hard, bursty Gwen damage once the Callista, you know, gets into the thick of things.
Yep, and also being able to kite back a little bit better and set up traps as well. They can play side lanes more effectively with the fact that Weaver's Wall exists. Kellen going to get bandage tossed, and Dread's going to move his way over. Duckdom has himself the Graviton. Moonlight Vigil comes down. That's a lot of value, but not exactly as much as it could have been late game as the Tahm Kench is going to be taken out. Dread has to flash, though, as Nogari's moving real fast. Fate's Call gets the Amumu out of there, and this is what happens when the Amumu doesn't die 3 times before 6. Means that Fate's Call can be there to protect him.
Okay, I don't think you can actually dive this as Damwon Kia. They do have an R-bar here. The Thelios ult is gone. They will just back away. Second Herald is spawning. Like, this is a very similar situation to the last one where Damwon Kia don't end up grabbing a ton of advantages, but will be able to at least grab... Well, I guess it's very different, because last time they were able to, despite losing Nuggery, like this time they lost Kellen, they lost Nuggery, then they got a kill and a turret. This time they don't get the turret, they don't get the kill.
And they don't kill Nuggery.
But they will still get the Rift Herald.
Ooh.
Yeah, and Nuggery is also alive.
So it's
but
like
Beryl died instead.
Yeah,
or Kellen, excuse me.
Ooh,
it's not Beryl on this team
anymore. That's a Freudian slip. That was back in time.
It's not Beryl on this team anymore. It's a long night, Atlas. I lost my mind.
I know. Don't worry. It's absolutely fine because Beryl was in the previous series, and with the fact that our brains are kind of mush at the moment, it does make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, Kellen, he's the sacrificial lamb this time around. Nuguri is like, no, I'm not doing that again. I'm not making all these sacrifices again, as Shirley is going to be able to take down this turret. And it looks like Darmon are going to move over and at least put a little bit of respect onto the Drake and take that one down, even out the scoreline as far as that is concerned. They still hold a 3,000 gold lead, pretty comfortable one, but like the game that doesn't exist anymore, Darmon are in the lead, but not as much as in that particular example.
Okay, Showmaker looking for a potential engage here. They got that mid turret down with the second Herald.
Saved by the Cloud Soul Wolf.
More.
Saved by the Cloud Soul. Hex Flash gets effort over the wall, as now Canyon looking to wrap around for some sort of dive attempt. Canny here trying to deal with Nuguri, who's getting more and more difficult to deal with, as BDD's in the top lane, and that's why Damwon are putting on so much pressure.
Yep, Nuguri's just going to clear this wave and then peace out with his expiring Narbar. They really wanted to get this inner turret. Actually will force a teleport here from BDD. And Damwon and Kia just walk away, so they grab a teleport, pull a Talia out of a side lane. So yeah, you don't get the inner gold, but the value is pretty massive. They're winning out in arguably 3 lanes, because now Showmaker can go farm top for free. They pushed mid, and obviously Nuguri was able to get a lot of value bottom side. He is 2150 ahead over Kana in this matchup that Kana picked into the Gnar, and he just picked up a Wit's End. So killing him is now even more difficult, even if he's caught by BDD here on a seismic shove.
Yeah, and this is what happens when Canyon makes that little trip towards the top side. Nuguri now has himself Trinity Force and Wit's End, so he doesn't care about what Gwen's going to do. Also has himself some steel caps, just in case Dread comes along. This is a really great position for the Gnar, as Dr. picks up his Collector. That is 2 items here for the Aphelios as well. He's an Infinity Edge away from being pretty ridiculous. It's going to be a lot of years, kind of like how long this series feels like it is going. As Effort takes a lot of damage from Baron, the Showmaker is not willing to overextend, which I think is the right call. Nuguri moves down, and he is, of course, always willing to overextend. That is, in fact, his MO. He's very, very good at it. It's a large reason why he's won a lot of his games, which is a very strange thing to say, as Kanna's looking for the 1v1, but Nuguri's still fighting it back. And Kanna is going to back away. Oh, Canyon. They know Canyon
is,
Kana,
this is actually really wise from Kana. He knows that Canyon could be coming down. If Nuguri is staying like that, then it's too good to be true. That Wit's End value was definitely real there in that trade, so he can live long enough, gets his Narbar, and as Canyon was coming down, could have been a disaster had Kana decided to push any further. Did expire his Ghost, or rather use his Ghost there to try to push the issue further, so at least he will lose that Summoner. Damwon and Kia setting up potentially here for a trap on Baron. They're not going to start it just yet. They don't have... I mean, they have a decent amount of damage, but not enough damage to safely take this one in the time that Nongshim could respond. And now they don't have vision control either on this brush. Nongshim have put a lot of time and effort into making sure this top side of the map is under their vision control here.
Yep.
So that they don't get the wool pulled over their eyes here. As this is still a game that Nongshim could turn back 100% with just a really nice seismic shove, cyclone engage, you know, and a Mumu follow-up ult. Like, the wombo combo potential here for Nongshim's comp is so high that, you know, 3,000 gold down, you can still win a 5v5 fight if Damwon and Kia mess up. So vision is extremely important. Playing patiently here is Nongshim, even though they don't have the better scaling, quote-unquote, with the Kalista versus Aphelios angle. There are ways that this team fight, the upcoming team fights could just be won by Nongshim in a flash as well. That one word will persist.
Yeah, cheeky one there. Not going to be seen by Ghost, who wasn't actually sweeping, he was just clearing a control ward. Calibrum comes on through as Dr. moves over to his Infernum and his Gravitum. So Damwon Kia sitting on pretty good guns utility-wise for the Aphelios, but now it's Severum, no more Gravitum available, and that's not exactly super optimal. Infernum late game, absolutely fantastic. Right now, not the most amazing, as Canyon wants to be able to take this Shellfish, but isn't able to do so, as Effort is going to find the ulti. Nuguri moving on over, as there's the flash out from Canyon. He has Subjugate running, and Dread with the Cyclone there, trying to get himself out of here, but he's going to be very, very low. And now Baron's being pinged, actually, on Damwon's side, as Nongshim do need to send their jungler home.
Yeah, Canyon has no ult, you know, has to back away flash there as well. The Subjugate gave him a ton of value, grabbing those extra resistances there in the fight, but it's not like they're able to turn it into a kill. But Canyon is just simply going to walk right over to this and say, you know, I don't need an ult, I don't need a flash to potentially threaten this, and if they set up a fight in the choke point with the Lissandra, with the Gnar, like, this is Damwon's fight to lose, right? They have so much control. And Nongshim are not taking the bait, you know, they're just grouping towards it, trying to clear waves. I think Damwon Kia, since they haven't taken the bait several times, like, they should just start this, and now they finally will.
Yeah, Dr.
Gnar
has
here,
some
building up a
great...
bar.
Yeah, Dr. has some great teamfight guns, as Caliber and Crescendum are here. So can poke from range, but also have all of that DPS if anyone tries to get on top of him. Dread, Warrior Trickster, gets himself out of the way. As Damwon, they were spotted out, and so therefore they will back off the Baron. And we are just going to be chilling for now. Damwon Kia thinking about heading towards this first Cloud Drake is Dread. Yeah, this is that's the long range damage I was talking about. As yeah, Dr. will find him. The Chakrams plus the Caliber is a lot of damage. Yeah.
Yeah. Still going to be a Drake going over to Damwon Kia, and Nongshim, even with the Callista here, do not have the ability to try to cross-map trade for Baron, so the best they could do is try to clear up a little bit of vision here. They just have not been, unfortunately, very successful in doing so. There's still a control ward in the Baron pit, there's control wards in this brush. The observers are showing all the vision that they missed here and trying to set up for this. Now I was going to go ahead and regroup, but by that time, Damwon Kia is already going to have this wave in mid push through. So just kind of a little bit of, like, ring around the rosy kind of vision shuffling between these teams. We see this a lot in really slow game states in the LCK, but does, I think, favor Damwon Kia in a lot of ways when Nongshim is just not able to make a decisive play here. Because their comp is going to scale. The Nuggery build here on this Gnar means that he can side lane against the Gwen just fine.
Ooh, effort. Gonna find himself the ulti. Dr. not going to get CC'd. As, alright, he is going to jump out. The Devour did come through. It was a very weird interaction. However, he is going to be out now, trying to get these autos through. The kill onto Kellen is good, but can Nongshim find more? Because that could mean Baron, as these Chakrams still coming down, but unable to get a kill. And Nongshim now moving towards the Baron pit and seeing whether they can lock this one down.
They do not have their critical ultimates, so they don't have any of them. So, I mean, this is very difficult to pull off a turn here without ults. Like, Nongshim, your comp cannot turn without those.
Hex Flash to get over the wall from Effort. Let's see whether he can be the hero. And yeah, Nongshim, you are running out of health numbers. And Damwon, they have a few options here. They can look to chase, or they can hold on to the Baron. They decide not to head into the Baron pit, which would have been dangerous.
They can get an inner turret. They can get an inner turret mid. They can probably get one bottom as well if they could set up for this. And if everybody leaves on Nongshim's side, they could probably just start their own Baron, especially if they can cut off one or two members here.
Oh, Showmaker finds the perfect angle. Noggery as well would throw in the Gnar ulti, and it's a wipe. Oh man, it looked like it was so good for Nongshim, but then the pillar, Showmaker finding it. And Damwon Kia now get everyone back onto the map, and they kill 3 and look for a Baron.
Yep, that is all it takes, man. And the setup there was so good for Nongshim to potentially get a pick, get a fight win. They were so close to it. Showmaker's Ring of Frost engaged there onto Effort, misses. Nongshim instantly there to capitalize and look for the follow-up plays. But once all of the ults are gone, this comp cannot teamfight against Damwon's, as Kana is trying his best, man, to come in here and find something. Is anybody in this bush? Can I find one seismic shove here with BDD pulling him in? But no, and going back to this fight here, look at Showmaker. He goes in, misses Ring of Frost, and Effort engages on him, then moves forward for the ult engage. Cyclone is already gone, and like, Damwon Kia just kite back. And yeah, they lose Barrel, but after the Wombo is done, you can't win this fight anymore as Nongshim. Like, Showmaker's extremely low, does back away, but they know exactly what is happening. They see the rotation of Baron and just come over immediately. We're going to skip ahead to this, where Showmaker just goes over the wall. And this time the Ring of Frost is good. Ults himself, buys time, and the follow-up is real. Pretty clean stuff.
Really well played. Clean triple kill there for Showmaker.
He's like, let's go, let's go. I've got 2-3 seconds on my E. But they do just back away. But yeah, like, the fight there for Nongshim was almost so good, but if you can't secure the kills, then Damwon Kia just back and then run right back at the Baron, and you don't have turn anymore. And yeah, they have a Callista comp, but it's just not enough damage to clear the Baron that fast. You know, if we're like 35 minutes in, I think they probably can, but we're just not there yet.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and they were so close to that Wombo fight I was talking about, but I just don't think it's going to happen anymore. Now 6,000 gold behind.
Yeah, the wallets
Baron
are
up for
becoming
Damwon.
very heavy, and Showmaker is also in a better mood, as you can see by the book that he purchased. Books make Showmaker very, very happy. This one in particular, the Magi Soul Stealer, is his favorite
He's
volume.
very well read.
Indeed, indeed. And they are on the red side, so it does make a whole lot of sense. As you have to forgive me for that joke, because it's quite late. As Damwon looking to push down here, you can see Showmaker waiting in the wings, wanting to capitalize. That control ward there is getting a whole lot of value. Showmaker will eventually clear that one out. As Kellen still has an Aphelios. Maybe he's just letting everyone know who his favorite person is. And the Aphelios is the one. He does, of course, have that icon sitting there. It's like, he's my best friend. Yeah. He's my this is my best friend. This is, I assure you.
It's a Duck Dom on my mind. All right, Dread's on the flank angle here. Does have Cyclone, but no flash.
Ooh,
this is just going to delay the inevitable.
A very obedient Damwon Kia, just move away from the Weaver's Wall. Not so obedient is Nogri, who's going to be forced to hop away from Dread. That second Cyclone not really going to get the value with Seismic Shove. Going to protect the Monkey at this point in time.
They pop the lifeline with Hyper Proc as well. Like, Nuggery gets the shield away from Dread here. That's pretty massive. Cyclone gone, so no flank opportunity. Like, basically, Dread was like, can I flank? Can I maybe find a Wukong angle here to punish this team that's sieging? And Nuggery said no. Absolutely not. You cannot. Your lifeline is gone. Your Cyclone is gone. Your flanking potential is gone. It's deleted. We could siege freely now. Talia's Weaver's Wall is also gone, so there's just nothing to be afraid of anymore as Damwon Kia. And they will get the maximum value out of the last few seconds of that Baron before they kite back and take these Cloud Soul Point.
Yep, they will collect that. Yeah, really nicely done. Bunch of extra movement speed and a few other good things as well. As Nongshim on the ropes once again. That inhibitor turret in the mid lane was one of the casualties. Damwon moved towards that 7,000, close to 8,000 gold lead at this stage. Not exactly breaking ultimately, but the composition from Damwon definitely scales a bit better considering the Kalista versus Aphelios angle and the lack of range that Nongshim do have. Outside of, I guess, the Kalista. Sorry, not the Kalista, the Talia.
Yeah, it was very weird. Something I noticed, by the way, is like a lot of seemingly angry pings here for Nongshim. Like, I actually just saw somebody danger ping Dread 3 times when he went over to Baron to try to clear. I guess perhaps signaling, like, don't go out there alone by yourself. You could get picked. We don't know where they are, and there's no Baron up for, you know, over 2 more minutes. But, like, there's some question mark pings on the Amumu earlier. Like, just some things I'm noticing here. Might not mean anything. Might actually be a Damwon danger pings. Yeah. But, yeah, like, I think the frustration is sinking in here for Nongshim. They've had another shot at this game, and the beginning of it also looked okay. Like, Dread had such a good start in changing his pathing to mess with Canyon's jungling, but it doesn't work out. And
it was a decent attempt. It was definitely a decent attempt, as the early game was certainly better than the last time around. However, I think the result is looking to be pretty similar. BDD walls his way over here and will at least keep this inner turret alive for a little bit longer. Grab him at the ready for Doc Dom, and he has a lot of items now. As Nongshim safely clear out this wave. Effort face checks, but there's no Aphelios in that brush this time around. He also had Fate's Call, of course, available. So he would have been saved if there was any issues. Bissell Dive comes on through as we have 43 seconds on the Baron, and Damwon Kia have absolutely full control. It's a monopoly.
Yeah, they're basically just camping it. They're like, you guys can try to put wards in here. You can try to walk even towards this part of your jungle, but we're just not going to allow you to be in the zone. It's now restricted. And Damwon are even willing to, like, just give up a little bit of control bottom side here because there's nothing happening there for 2.5 more minutes. Nuggery is considering coming down and doing some side lane there because he has teleport, but I think Damwon Kia are just hoping to, with all of their ultimates available here, just start Baron on spawn, basically.
Yeah.
They will have to clear this wave, of course, first. Nuggery's coming up.
Yeah,
again, that same Wombo potential is there for Nongshim, but they just don't have the damage.
Similar on the other side, though. They have to be very careful of the Lissandra Gnar angle, right? Like, you get the Circle of Frost as well as a Gnar layered on top. That chain CC is also very scary, especially when paired with the Pillar. So it's difficult for Nongshim to find those angles, but if they don't have initiative, it's almost impossible. So I see exactly what your point is. It's a difficult time to be Nongshim right here as the houses are raining on top of the MMO.
And as the Baron spawns, you know, they clear that mid-wave. They have a Gnar and a Lissandra locking the door. Effort's trying to find an angle, just will not find it.
Yep.
Now it's going to turn.
Yeah, the Baron comes on through. There's a Moonlight Vigil as well. A lot of damage onto Ghost. Oh my goodness, almost ripped him to shreds. His shield bow was so necessary. Otherwise, he was just straight up dead. Kellen diving forward towards Dredd. He has to trickster his way over the wall. He does so, but still, the threat of the Doc Darm damage is pretty high.
Yep, the ult was pretty fat, and that wasn't even the scariest part, but, you know, he ends up hitting the Vigil there, and waves crashing through. Top side here, that inner turret is going to go down. Nuggery's looking to threaten and force people into the mid lane. He has these Baron-empowered minions to now try to siege up this inhibitor. Very systematic win here for Damwon Kia. That's what they are looking for, is without Cyclone, once again, Dredd doesn't have any agency here. He keeps having to Cyclone defensively because he's caught, but the reason why he's caught is because he's looking for a potential play. Like, it's a catch-22 problem. He's like, I'm trying to find an angle, I'm trying to look for the Aphelios, I'm trying to force a cleanse or something, but they keep turning on me and I keep having to Cyclone away, and then I don't have it to deal with the follow-up pushes. It's just, they're so far behind in this game. 10,000 gold now that the flank angles, you can't even see them anymore, you can't even imagine them.
Yeah.
They keep the inhibitor alive, which is a miracle in itself.
They do. They will likely lose this Drake that's going to be up in 10 seconds time as Effort thinking about trying to get over here. Spots that the blast cone just exploded and thinks better of face checking where there are obvious bad guys. Nuggery here on this bottom side, just getting this wave moved up. That Baron buff at the ready, and that is going to get all the space required to guarantee this Cloud Soul will give all of that extra great movement speed and fun stuff that Damwon Kia were looking for. 8-4 is the kill score, but honestly, the kills haven't really been the story here. It's how Damwon Kia have suffocated Nongshim out of the map at almost every turn.
Yeah, it's just such good macro play here from Damwon Kia, and they're just not leaving any stone unturned. And finally, the last part of the Baron buff is going to siege up this inhibitor.
Yeah.
Dredd loses his lifeline again. I believe that was popped there, and has to look for a Cyclone follow-up.
The ulti is just going to be avoided there as the Devour comes through from Kellen. Now he's moving on down. Doc Darm turns up for the fight as well. The Cyclone is trying to do a bit of zoning, but it doesn't really work out. Canyon, in the meantime, is just on the flank, trying to kill 3 people at once, I guess. Dredd is going to flash for him, as that was just took way too much effort to kill one Trundle. The tower falls down, the inhibitor goes the same way. Doc Darm has full health, and look at how much damage he does to this turret. Like, that is obscene. It's too many years.
Nobody just teleports back.
Yeah, he's heading all the way forward. Now Effort has overextended as well, as Kellen just protecting his AD carry like he always has. The Frozen Tomb comes in as well, and Doc Darm's done with this game. He's just going to take down the Nexus. Ghost goes golden. That is going to save his life for this game, but it is the 2-0 in the end. Once again, thank you so much for your patience.